Experts by experience. Real conversations, real people, real stories. Hello, people, and welcome back to another episode of the Experts by Experience podcast. You're here with Mariam, and today I am excited to welcome two inspiring changemakers to the podcast, Kevin and Jayde, the co-founders of Khadys Dream. So, born from lived experience and driven by a powerful vision for justice, healing, and opportunity, Khadys Dream is a grassroots organisation working tirelessly with young people and families impacted by the criminal justice system. I'm so excited to have you guys here today. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. So let's start from the beginning. Can you share the story behind Khadys Dream and what inspired its creation?
Yeah, so I'll answer that one. So in my last sentence, I was in prison coming to the end of my last sentence. And when I received a phone call, I called my sister and she mentioned that my mum's in hospital. And my mum being a nurse, it's not unusual for her to be in hospital. So I said, what do you mean? That's where she works.
Okay.
And my sister was like, no, she's in hospital and she's ill. They said their mental health is at a stage where she can be severely ill, heart attack, or it's very unpredictable. And I asked my sister, what is the cause of that? And she said, because of you being in and out of prison for so many times, it's causing this mental strain on her health. And that's when I started thinking, how is this even possible? Like, what do you mean, like, me coming in and out? I thought she'll be used to it and so on. And what she tried to explain it to me is that she was going through depression and all these hidden consequences that I was not aware of. So me finding that out really put a guilt on myself, knowing that I've caused this, but also on the wing, I started asking other people, do you know this is the possibility of you being incarcerated to your family? Fast forward, coming to the end of my sentence, I met Jayde. Hi, Jayde.
Hello.
I met Jayde on a Zoom call and he was from the Evolve service in Camden and they were referred to work with myself. And when Jayde spoke to me, I shared this vision that I feel like the knowledge that I've learned from how it impacted my mum needs to be shared on a wider basis to more young people. Yeah. And that's how we thought of when Jayde come to meet me. He said that he had personal skills to help me develop my idea. And that's how we started Khadys Dream. Oh. And Khadys is my mum's name.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. Sounds like a really personal story that kind of inspired this. So what do Khadys Dream actually do? Like, what's the organisation about?
I'll take this one, Kevin.
Yeah.
So Khadys Dream, when we first started, the mission was very simple. It was to support young people at risk of entering the criminal justice system. Yeah. We didn't want no young person to get left behind. And we done market research and looked at, we've done research projects in terms of getting data from young people and asking questionnaires. And one of the finds that we found out was that young people are not aware of the criminal justice system until they are arrested. So they come into contact with the Youth Justice Service. They're not aware of sentencing guideline until they come across their solicitor. So there was a misconception of what crime looks like within the community. And on the other side of what law looks like, there is a disconnect in terms of how that reaches our communities. Yeah. So we was looking at what can we develop to help young people understand the hidden consequences of entering the criminal justice system. What are the consequences that you're not aware of? And we wanted to challenge social media as well in terms of the misconceptions and the way that it glamorizes a criminal lifestyle. Yeah. We looked at other projects who are more focused on violence, whereas where we looked at our lifestyle and where we came from in our community, crime was the root cause of a lot of the violent incidences that take place. And if we looked for a deeper understanding, there is also poverty as well as an underlying thing. So where we started was working with young people and raising that education and awareness. So to us, all young people are at risk. Anyone from a deprived community, you're at risk of entering the criminal justice system, being coerced or manipulated to get into some form of way to earn some sort of money. Yeah. And that's what we started off working directly with young people. And then from then we've developed, and now we work with companies, organizations, develop strategies, and so on and so on.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Do you know what? I think that's really powerful what you said about how everybody knows about what happens afterwards, or how people, why it's a bad thing, or quote unquote bad thing to end up in this kind of cycle. But I think something that you guys mentioned earlier was this word like prevention. Even before it even happens, it's about prevention. It's about kind of looking at those root causes. So I think that's definitely what sets you guys apart, which I really, really like. I did want to say as well, because there's so much context around your story, especially you, Kevin, and how Khadys Dream came to be, given your lived experience, what were some of the early gaps or injustices you witnessed when it came to you, being in and out of the criminal justice system at such a young age?
I think one of the gaps that I would say that impacted me was the transition from when you turn from a YO into an adult prison. I think that transition, as soon as you turn 18, was very scary.
Yeah.
It's very intense. A lot of the support that you get is no more accessible. You feel like you've gone to adult prison, now you're with the big boys.
Yeah.
And it leaves you in a vulnerable state. I think that's one of the gaps that really affected me.
Yeah.
And I think it's not taught enough. I think there needs to be more safety measures in place for when a young person does turn 18. We need to give that extra support, maybe up to the age of 21 or 25, because I know the brain's not fully developed even when they turn 18. So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. What did they say? Like, a lot of the time, don't quote me, guys, but, they say the prefrontal cortex develops fully. And that's kind of our decision-making kind of...
Risk.
That risk-taking element and area. So, yeah, that's definitely really important. You kind of mentioned as well, family played a really big part, and like this idea of how much family is affected. So I was kind of wondering, do you often find that family is forgotten in that process of kind of crime prevention and the criminal justice system in general?
Yeah, I'll take this one again.
Yeah?
Families are often forgotten unless they put the onus on the individual, on the parent. So if you're not putting the onus on the child, then oftentimes it's put the onus on the parent. And that's where we talk about Khady being Kevin's mum name, and the dream is to ensure that no parent is left alone. So the support service that we put in, we view ourselves as creating a comprehensive safety net. So we don't manage and hold the risk. We will hold services that work with these families accountable, so that we are creating that comprehensive safety net for the family itself. So more family interventions that work well within the community. So when we talk about that education and awareness, we speak about, there was a young person who came to one of our workshops and he was talking about prison and what that looks like. And his mum came to the workshop also, and she was talking about, there isn't nothing I can show my son as a deterrent. He showed me all these videos of TikTok and it's looking like prison is fun.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a deterrent. It's just your mother can only put in the boundaries. And once that boundary, like the child is obviously exploring his autonomy of transition into an adult, that independence, you're playing around, it's like it's just left for a rule, and those household rules do get broken. And then what is the support? A parenting, coaching, or super nanny's not going to come and save the day in this day and age. So when we look at those things, it's like, how do we become a pillar in the community and stand on business for the families itself? Because single mothers are struggling with their young people, and there's a lot of disproportionality in the support that's offered, and we can't put all the pressure on social care or early help. There needs to be more interventions, and obviously we play that role.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's so real what you said as well. Even when we're talking about it from a sociological standpoint, like primary socialization can only go so far, like you said. And it's about that secondary socialization and making sure that there are different pillars and there are different, organizations that can support. And I love the fact that you guys are dedicated to supporting the family, because it trickles down, doesn't it? And you know what? It's really nice that you mentioned this about what you just said earlier about how, kids are going on social media and they're being re-socialized, looking at videos of prison, and it looks fun. The criminality of it all looks fun. And it reminds me of the short film that you guys created. See, I've been doing my research on you guys, Before You Commit, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of like a key focus and a key theme of social media and how it kind of glamorizes this whole process. And I'm aware you guys kind of started a whole campaign or program around Before You Commit. Can you tell us more about the Before You Commit program, actually?
Yeah, no, I'll start with this one, Jayde, you follow through. Yeah. So the Before You Commit came from myself and Jayde, and it actually started in my hostel. So when I was released from prison, I got told I have to stay in a hostel. I wasn't allowed in my mum's area.
Yeah.
And when me and Jayde sat together and started Khadys Dream, we wanted to think, how could we get this message across to young people, and what would make sense and what's also different? So using my lived experience, we was able to understand what are the steps when a young person does enter the youth justice system. So that's when we thought of the 7 steps, starting from what happens when you come in contact with the police, sentencing guideline, knowing the solicitor, going all the way the cycle, what happens in prison, what happens to your loved ones, the mental health side of things, and all the way to when you come out, when you're on license, and also your mental health at that stage, but also not forgetting the ripple effect on your loved ones.
Yeah.
So we put that together and we then developed a program called Before You Commit, so that it educates the young people, but also gives the awareness and education. It's not out there for young people that we think are going to enter crime. It's more as an educational, because this is something that if you don't know, you won't be able to make better informed decisions.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's important that the education is out there for anyone. We say that every kid's at risk of crime. So if they do have the education in place, they are empowered to make better informed decisions, but also share with their peers.
Yeah. And like we said, prevention. That's amazing. I was actually reading about it as well, and I saw like the 7 modules. Does that happen like over like a 7-week period? What does that look like?
Yeah, so we deliver it over 7 weeks. So this 1 session a week.
Yeah.
Some schools have booked us for double. So
Oh my
we're
gosh,
doing
that's amazing.
So we're delivering it as 2 sessions in one.
Yeah.
It's also AQA accredited now.
Wow.
And
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. So the delivery and schools talking about it, like loads of testimonies, young people. We've developed a workbook for it, certificates now. So yeah, it's just grown. And that was our first ever program.
Yeah.
And it was about bringing lived experience and the professional world together.
Yeah.
Normally, someone with lived experience is there as a guest speaker to come in. And so we still hire guest speakers alongside the Before You Commit program, but it's having a facilitator.
That combination.
With lived experience, with the professional expertise to be able to dive into content that is not spoken about, and it is an introduction to law is the way that I present it to people.
I love that. Congratulations, guys. AQA that's big. That is really big. So even when the program is running and you're going into these schools, how do the students react when they're actually seeing like, oh my gosh, this is what could happen? Like when they get to, module 3, the ripple effect, like how do they react to this?
Yeah. So like there's loads of prevention services out there. So when we do meet the young people at first, it's a bit like, oh, we've seen it before, we've heard it before. So what
they
makes
don't know.
you different? But one thing that we're good at is very storytelling, and also using my lived experience and other lived experiences, but also at meeting the young people where they need to be met. So that's one thing that we've been able to use when we are delivering the program. And I think when they start off, they understand the basic stop and search. But as we get deeper, understanding prison, and one thing we do is we don't filter the content, so we don't hide the truth. It's very raw, authentic, and we break down the misconception, making them understand the videos that you're seeing on TikTok. That's a 30-second, 1-minute video out of a whole 24-hour.
Yeah.
So it really gets them thinking.
It's deeper.
So then when we start on session 3, when we start tapping into their mental health, the ripple effects on their loved ones, they start thinking there's way too much going on in custody.
Yeah.
And it's not even happening to myself, it's happening to my friends and family. And it's almost like some of the feedback was from the students, like, why is this information not shared with us?
Wow.
Because no one's really actually told us that we just thought that prison, you go prison, you spend your time there, you come out, that's served. But when we actually go through the 7 steps, by the end of it, they've realised that it's not worth it. It's a myth, like they like to say. And it's also a lot of the hidden consequences that we share is now their truth.
Yeah.
And it also empowers them to make better informed decisions. Because like when they're being groomed or they think of an idea, they think about all the 7 steps that they've been... They think about all the 7 steps that they've seen before you commit, and it's deterred them from entering crime.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Do you know what? And it's so real because it's not about scaring them. And like you guys both said throughout in this whole episode, it's about making those informed decisions. A lot of the, criminal law side of things behind it, to be fair, even a lot of adults probably don't even know what the processes are, especially if you live a very, shielded life, or you've grown up in a situation where all of those things look very glamorized, or it seems like the only way forward. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So let's move forward. Let's think about the people that want to make a difference. You guys started this community interest company in 2023?
Yeah, we started trading 2024, January 2024.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, it's coming up to 2 years.
This is the dream. The dream's been going on and it's been moving forward. So what advice would you give to other organizations or individuals looking to support young people at risk, or they're caught up in any of these kind of transitions in the system?
Yeah, I always say start. I would say do your research, because sometimes you could have an idea and it's your perspective of that's your lens. That's how you view the world. But it's important to also listen to other people's voices. So seeing if this is a reference point, does it resonate with those around you? And if that does, then it's easy to kind of start. It kind of starts as kind of an empowering message. It kind of gives you a sense of duty of care to whoever's believing in you to now pursue this dream and make it happen. So I would say it just starts with that start, and wherever you can go, whether you want to go to a school, a youth club, a faith group, just start and go and speak to people in the community, because sometimes we think that our idea may be too small, we don't know, but yeah, just go, because there's people, everyone needs support, everyone needs brotherhood, sisterhood, family, someone to depend on, someone that's got their back. We all need that, and it's nice when it comes from like a grassroots organization, because local authorities get absorbed with the politics and their
the
policy.
bureaucracy,
it's different. So there needs to be more grassroots organizations that are doing the work, because it's important that we support each other, and I think it starts with us.
That's lovely. Thank you so much.
And
Did you want to add?
Yeah, I'll add, and I'll simplify mine. I think one thing that they need to be willing to do is listen.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the key things. Me growing up in the youth justice system, I've worked with loads of prevention services, and some of them, as Jayde mentioned, think they've got an idea of what's best for you or what will help you stop committing crime, and they're not really there to listen. So I would always say that listen to the young person and be willing to listen hours on ends. And another thing I would say, empower.
Yeah.
A lot of young people, when they meet them through crime prevention, their main focus might be to stop them doing crime, but also empowering them, let them know they're bigger than the crime that they're doing. Let them know that their ambition is what it can be crazy, it's valued, empowering them. Let them see that they're not a prisoner or they're not a young person. You're something that can be bigger. And that's one thing that Jayde done from the minute he saw me when I was in
I'm getting emotional.
HMP high down. So he made me realise that I'm bigger than where I am actually, that he also empowered me, and that's what's also given me the confidence.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And I think that kind of segues into our final point of what is the dream? What's the dream for Khadys Dream? Has anyone asked you guys that before? I'm sure someone said that before. What is the dream for Khadys Dream? And for the people listening, how can they get involved? How can they support and expand this dream?
Cool.
We'll kick it off.
It's because we have our mission is to ensure that every young person has the tools to break free from the cycle of crime. But I would say going into year 3 of trading, it's kind of expanded. So in terms of our dream is to support everybody. It's just to support the community and to challenge, hold systems accountable. So where we have now started to go more in the media lens and create storytelling objectives, which I'm going to send to Kevin to kind of simplify. But that's the dream, is to always improve from where we started, to ensure that no one gets left behind. The same way we started with just a duo, to spread our wings and see who else we can impact and empower along the way. Just in 2 years, we've worked with over 2,000 young people, and the number keeps growing. So the aim is to just keep at it, stay consistent, and empower professionals and the systems to make sure that there is some sort of change moving forward.
I love that. Thank you so much. And then just to add as well, so how can people get involved? So for the people listening, how can they get involved? How can they contact you?
You want to answer that and not answer the first one first.
In terms of getting in contact with us, you can we have our email on our website, so you can go on our website and it's got a contact us. So Khadys Dream, spelled KHADYSDREAM.com, And yeah, you can message us on TikTok, Instagram if socials is your preferred handle, and get in contact. We also have a donation page as well, which contributions count in terms of our workbooks. We spoke about AQA, so developing educational workbooks is a priority, making sure every young person has one when they're on our programs. So there's loads of things that we do going into the media side. We are looking for anyone who's interested in acting to be able to come across and be a part of some of our visual content. We also are involved in a lot of other conversations in terms of creating career pathways, work experience. So anyone from young people to adults can reach out and get involved with Khadys Dream.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, just to summarize, I don't know if you've seen The Diary of the CEO from Stephen Bartlett.
Is that book? Oh no, the podcast.
The podcast, yeah, where he shares educational awareness. Yeah. We're trying to do something similar with that, but with crime and prevention. So having the information accessible out there for parents to go and educate themselves so they can have the tools to support their young person. And we realize that visual content is where everything's at the moment. So we're very heavily looking into visual content. Myself, I've learned through watching films. I think a lot of the young people today, you ask them what's the best film, they say Top Boy.
Oh my God.
We think about what's the message behind this? What's the storytelling? How can we turn this? How can parents be able to use it to start a conversation? How can schools learn into it? So I think that's embedded in our mission and our vision.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, everyone listening, you heard it here. There's always opportunities at Khadys Dream. If you want to get involved, if you want to help create and be a part of the mission, please contact. And I think that's actually all for today. I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys' openness, your rawness. This is a real vision and I'm here for it. So yeah, I think that's really everything. I'm honestly rooting for Khadys Dream, and we're all rooting for Khadys Dream here at Catch 22. This is what we do. So I think that's it. We're signing off. Goodbye, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed the episode today. Experts by Experience is brought to you by Catch 22. For more episodes, visit www.catch-22.org.uk. Now playing on National Prison Radio.